sales and make your marketing start working again. There's a lot of people, you've taken marketing classes, you've taken training, you've taken courses from people, and you tried to implement them. Maybe they were recorded years back and they didn't work. And maybe you're wondering, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with this? Why is this strategy not working? And that's what I want to talk about, is how to make marketing strategies start to work when they stopped working. The truth is, marketing, sales, business, online business is based on human-to-human interaction and human-to-human connection, okay? And so post-COVID-19, people are connecting differently than we did before. This is a fact. And you can relive the glory days and hope that everything goes back to how it was pre-COVID-19, but you're going to be sitting around broke thinking that something's going to change one day, and then you're going to be hoping that the situation changes, that we go back to pre-COVID-19 days. And I know that that's what you want, that's what your desire is, but you don't have time to do that. No business owner has time or even permission to sit around hoping that we go back to the glory days. It's time to figure out something new. If your marketing strategy isn't working, it's time to figure out a new way to reach people. It's time to figure out a new method of connecting and communicating with people. And this is where I see people, they fight tooth and nail for what used to work. They fight tooth and nail to get back to the glory days. They fight tooth and nail for what worked at one time to work again, instead of learning and trying something new, stepping out, taking a risk, putting something new out there and seeing how it works. For you to get results, when your marketing strategy stops working, you're going to have to cut your losses and try something new. You're going to have to realize that the way that people connect post-COVID-19 is different than how they connected pre-COVID-19, and stop hoping and praying that we get back to how it used to be with things and start to operate in this new way. Listen, I know I just offended quite a few of you by saying that. I'm sorry, and I apologize. Get over it. Realize that if you want to be successful, if you want to make money in a business, how you want things to be isn't always how you're going to get it. And so if you want to get sales, if you want to grow a business, you're going to have to learn the new way of doing things. You're going to have to learn how to operate in these new methods. How to reach people through online platforms, how to reach people through online presentations, how to use a camera, how to use social media, how to connect by talking and communicating with people. Oh, your old blogging methods don't work anymore? Great, change it up. Start talking to people through social. Start talking to people through video. Start a podcast. Start a weekly video talk. Whatever it is, start a webinar. Start scheduling out for people to connect. I got clients, they're making 7 and 8 figures because they pivoted, because they shifted. Instead of whining and complaining and wishing that things could be back to how they used to be, they shifted and adjusted how they're doing things to the new way and the new strategy of what's working. So you can either choose to complain and whine and be upset that how things are not how they used to be, and try to force your will on the market and try to force things to go how you think they should and try to force things to go back to how they were pre-COVID-19. Or you can evolve, step up, get over yourself and realize, I'm going to have to start doing something different than how I was before. Those are your two choices. You're going to whine and complain like a little baby wishing that things could go back to how they were? Or are you going to step up and learn a new way to do things? Are you going to humble yourself and realize maybe you got to go back to ground zero and start from scratch? Maybe you got to scratch that idea that is not working. You're not going to shove it down somebody's throat and make them buy into what used to work 5 years ago. The world has changed. People have changed. The way people connect has changed. The way they communicate has changed. You're going to sit around and stay broke until the glory days come back? You're going to be sitting around doing that for the next 30 years and then complaining about, oh man, I remember how it was back in 2017. I remember how it was back in 2015. I remember how it was back in 2014. Keep remembering how it was. It's never going to go back to how it was. We got to keep moving forward. We got to keep adapting. We got to keep changing. Exactly how Sarah said. We got to keep adapting. I see way too many people getting stuck in their head of wishing that we could go back to the pre-COVID-19 glory days of how things used to be. and then being upset that they're not like that. I get it. You're disappointed. You're upset. You're upset about how things are happening. You're upset about mandates. You're upset about vaccines. You're upset about whatever. Yada, yada, yada. You put out there. Are you building a business? Or are you just piping off your mouth and telling everybody how you feel because it makes you feel better? Those are your choices. You can either step up, be a business owner, try something new, try a new method, or just keep spouting off how you feel, your feelings, and keep a complaining fest going. By the way, the more you complain, the more you manifest negativity in your life. The more you complain, the more things will never go your way. Until you start accepting how things are, until you start accepting that, okay, this is how it goes. Yes, does it suck? Do we like how certain things are going? Listen, I don't. I don't like how certain things are going. I'm not happy with it, but I'm adapting. I'm learning how to shift and how to adjust. And that's what you got to do too. Instead of sitting around in a little kumbaya circle of complaining, wishing that we were back in the glory days, instead of wishing that we were back to how things used to be, we need to start to adjust and adapt and learn. How are people connecting? How are people communicating? How are we connecting with customers? What's the new way of pulling people in and making our presentations in our business? We got to break out of these comfort zones. Exactly. Sarah, you're preaching it. You could probably teach this whole message right here. But I'm serious here, and I've been kind of skating around this one for a little while. I'm tired of seeing business owners accepting broke because they wish that we were back to the pre-COVID-19 glory days, instead of shifting and adjusting and whining and complaining about how they wish things were different. Whining and complaining never changes anything. It just doesn't. Now, yes, there are some people, listen, one of them I love, man, Rodney Howard-Browne. Rodney Howard-Browne stood firm, kept doing it, and now he's rising up and doing some great stuff. If that's not your present situation that you are existing in right now, that you have a movement around you and people showing up, we've seen like what Sean Foyt has done, things like that, different people that have had that. If you don't have a movement of people rallying around you in person, the old way of doing things, there's some remnants of that. There's some remnants of the old ways that they're still working. And I'm thankful for them. But for everybody else, you're going to have to adapt and adjust, and you're not going to be able to relive the glory days of how it used to be just by complaining about how you wish that things were how they used to be. You are going to have to change your methods. You're going to have to change and adjust how you do those things for you to experience success in your business. So what's your choice? What are you going to do? You're going to keep complaining? You're going to keep wishing that it was different? Are you going to learn something new, try something new, adjust your offers, adjust your methodology, adjust your advertising, adjust how you bring people in, and start to actually build a business that's successful instead of wanting to relive how it used to be? It's up to you. It's your choice. We'll talk soon, everybody. Have a good one.